Top 10 tips for shooting and editing 360 videos by Ben Claremont, tip number 3.
Yeah, all right. So my next tip is to do with shooting and exposure. So I've got another snippet here from the course. And so here we've got an example of dynamic range. This is a concept I know many of you will be familiar with from virtual tours. Perhaps you can even relate to what you're seeing in front of you from virtual tours. This is something that we've all faced at one point, getting extremely bad dynamic range in virtual tours, often because you've got bright lights, bright sunlight coming in through windows that is completely blowing out your shot. And as a result, you lose detail. So here you can see in the highlights, there's no detail here. That's just one consistent color. And here in the shadows, we've all basically got black, and that's going to be really hard to color correct. Whereas on the right-hand side, this is the same shot, but exposed properly. And this shows you the power of exposure. If you set your camera settings right, you can get much better dynamic range with video, just like you can with photo. If you shoot in HDR or bracketing with 360 photos and virtual tours, you get the result on the right. If you use auto exposure, you get the result on the left. And the same principle applies to 360 video. And my third point, I really just want to focus on daytime because I think in different situations, just like in virtual tours, you go about it slightly differently. There's no one size fits all approach to exposure. With daytime, it's actually easier than say at nighttime or even indoors in interior mixed lighting like virtual tour or real estate type situations. This is because the sun's out. The sun provides plenty of light for your camera to see clearly. And this makes it really easy to set your exposure because you don't need to tweak it much to be able to see everything. But at the same time, you also want to avoid, say, going too bright, because that's another common mistake, or too dark, say if you've got a really contrasty area like I've got here of a location. So there are a couple of ways to approach exposure during the day.